Hi, and welcome to the Practical Engineering Solutions channel. My name is Jack. Today I'm going to talk about a model railroad maintenance track system. This system is allowing me to modify rolling stock and check out the wheel flanges and do it in a much more orderly and organized fashion. So let's get to it and I'll show you what I built. Okay, this is the setup I use for car maintenance, and I can also use it for locomotives. I primarily use it for rolling stock. So what this consists of is two separate tracks. The top track that you see here is the one I featured in a previous video that allows you to easily tell whether you have plastic wheels or metal wheels on them. Sometimes I can't tell. They look very realistic. There's brown metal wheels and black metal wheels, and the same for plastic. So this is a continuity checker that I showed in one of the other videos, and I'll show you again quickly how that works. The bottom track is to measure various things. It has on both sides right here a standards gauge, and that's the Microtrain's 5 tools in 1 gauge. It's number 1055, and I'm sure many people are familiar with it. It measures car underbody height, coupler height, wheel width gauge, track width gauge, and it can be used as an uncoupler gluing jig. So there's one of those on each end, and in the middle of this is a re-railer, just to make it a little easier. So the thing that's nice about this is you can check both couplers on a car without taking it off the track. You can check the right one here and the left one here. Okay, I also have a postage scale here for weight measurements. And I have over here a little modified pill bottle that I use to hold a couple of other gauges. This is the NMRA gauge over here, and here is a height gauge for trip pins above the track right here. So I keep those in here. And then I have also a ultraviolet flashlight in the background here, and I use that to mark my cars that I've determined are in fact metal wheels, and I put a little dot on them that only shows up in ultraviolet. In the back of the top track you can see a weight gauge, so you can put your car right up against the piece of gauge and in end gauge this is made for, and determine how long it is in actual length and what weight it should be. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few of these. I have a checklist here that I saw on Model Railroad Hobbyist, and I duplicated it here. And some of the things I'm gonna go through, and some of them I'm not going to do because I think some of them are real esoteric. But and if the train derails, no people are going to get killed. So I'll show you that. I'll post that in the comments, but I'll go through just a few of them here to show you how it works. So this is a shot of the end of the gauge, and you can see it's real simple. It's just 3/4 inch pine, and it's on a stand of 3/4 inch plywood, just holding it up off the bench. And underneath there's room for the batteries for the continuity tester for the steel or metal wheels. I'm going to roll a box car through the gap, and hopefully you can see the LED, the blue LED flashing at the end of the track. So this has metal wheels on it, and I already marked this, and hopefully you can see that with the ultraviolet flashlight. You can see the light at the top of it lighting up. I kind of overdid it on this one. I put kind of heavy coat on here, but that's how it works. So that tells me it's got metal wheels. The next thing I do is I put it on the gauge here, and with the end gauge it says that it's about 40 foot long, and with 40 feet it says here it should be about 0.95 ounces. So I'm going to put it on the scale, and you can see here it's just about 0.5 ounces, 0.9 ounces, sorry. So that's in good shape. We're in good shape there. The next car is a tanker car, and that's also got metal wheels. And if I put it along the little template gauge here, this should be about roughly 0.9 ounces. And I did have to weigh this, and it's 0.9 ounces. I put some weights on it. Okay, so now let's look at the front. The front track. Put it up against here, and you can see it on sideways. It's pretty easy to see that it matches up. You can't. I don't think you can see it very well here, but it is the same height as the gauge. And then we can do the other side. And it's also the same height as the gauge over there. So some of the other things I check is that the wheels spin without wobble. All wheels are equally spaced from the truck frames. Couple of trip pins clear the gauge. So I use this height gauge here, put it on the track, and make sure that the trip pin just clears it. The pin is like 10 thousandths thick, so I use that. Also, when we have the car wheels are clean, we do an inspection and free of any paint, buildup, or dirt. That'll also, the continuity checker will also help with that. And the car freely rolls down a 24-inch test track when one end is elevated a ½ an inch above the grade. So if you have a ½ inch piece of wood, it should roll freely by itself down the grade. So I'm going to try that. Okay, here's my tank car, and I raised up this end about ½ an inch, 24 inches from the end of the track, and I put the car on there, 2% grade. It rolls down pretty well. So that's it for this video. I think you'll find this is really handy in doing maintenance. You got everything in one spot. You can check a couple of heights, wheel tracking, how freely the wheels move, whether it's you've got metal or plastic wheels very easily, and it lets you do a pretty good tune-up on your rolling stock. So I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.